There we
Okay,
go.
we're recording now. So yeah, hello everyone. Of course, I'm the elevator engineer. Right now I have Kevin from. Well, go ahead and tell them about yourself.
Yeah, no problem, brother. My name is Kevin Epps. I am from Digital Brilliance Hour, which is a combination of a boot camp and internship that teaches fundamentals of software engineering to our youth, building skills upon that they can reuse and transfer into jobs or school credits, things of that nature. Just I want them to be able to be better prepared after high school.
Absolutely.
In tech, yeah.
That is so dope. Like I don't even think you like. I'm sure you understand how the scale of that, especially as Black people. I know myself, me being the techie that I am, I find it very hard to find other Black people who are
yes.
Yes. So, can you just kind of give us a background about how you kind of got into software engineering, started your business / organization, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay. So I've always been into gaming. From the time I was like 6 or 7. When I was I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and we used to have this neighborhood shop, corner store. And they used to have the arcade, so they had like Double Dragon, Legend of I know they said Kage, but I say Legend of Cage. They had like he used to have all the happening arcades there. So that's where I got my introduction to video games. I think even before Atari, before I knew what Atari was, I was introduced to arcades first. Excuse me. So I was always into science. I was always into earth science. And around 12, the age of 12, when Sonic 1 came out, it was 91. I've been a Sega fanboy. And that's when I decided, I'm saying, yeah. That's when I decided I wanted to develop video games. And that was kind of my dream after that. So up until that point, I didn't know anything about how to get into it, how they were even being made, but I just knew I wanted to make them on my own. And I really didn't know about anything about how to go about it until high school. My senior year in high school, my guidance counselor, he was like, well, if you're trying to get into game development, that's probably going to be more like software engineering. So you're going to have to probably get you a degree in computer science. I said, all right, cool. Whatever I got to do. So I went to a historically Black college, North Carolina Central University. I don't have my hat on today, but Eagle Pride. So I went into the computer science program there, but the game development and software engineering was definitely very limited, so to speak, because they focus more on the coding aspects, building applications. Yeah. What I'm saying? So.
I know exactly. That's how I got into it too. Like I was the same way. I want to cut you off, but you say everything that's like so true, and so many, especially these young Black kids trying to go into that field. They need to hear this, because I got my degree in computer science as well, my bachelor's degree, right? I'm thinking we gonna be doing, game software development, all that type of stuff. Straight Java, like straight
man,
straight
right?
Just like, and it was for me. I have a techie background, but I had just got out of the military, so like I was just like, yeah, let me. I always knew I was gonna do computer science even as a kid, But same exact thing. Like you realize that, and this is why I think your digital brilliance is so important because
All right.
kids are not going to understand how the path they need to take to get actually into like software design if they just go straight to college. So please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So you understand, right?
Oh my god.
Uh, you know, so when I got there, and I think so Java definitely was number one. Then Pascal and C++ and C, and I still actually hold a lot of that C and C++ to this day. But that's where the focus was, and I think my latter part of my junior year, there was a guy. I think he came from UNC. He was doing like an elective class on game development, and so it was based off of Open GL. So I took that class for sure, and I learned a little bit about how game design works, how to think from a game design perspective. I even built like a little Space Invaders type game where I use like my own assets that I thought, yeah. um, so I built one of those games and called it Space Renegades, and that actually stuck with me later. But was in that class. Then my senior seminar, I actually built the first video game of the program. Like I don't even know if anyone's ever done it since, but that was the first time anyone ever built the video game for their senior seminar, and that game was. You remember the old Mario Brothers when they used to jump up and have the little power button in the middle, and used
Yeah.
to jump on the pipes and all of that. Not Super Mario, but one before that.
That was Mario Brothers too, wasn't it? No,
Yeah,
you
yeah, it
talking
was Mar. Go
Donkey
ahead.
Kong?
No, no, no. It was just called Mario Brothers. It
And it
was
was it
it
was the
was around
arcade.
Donkey Kong.
It was
Yes.
the arcade version. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Most people don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
That's a real old school Mario. Right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're right.
And it was two
Yeah.
players. Yeah, I got you.
Right, yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I know I'm dating myself. So
It's dope.
so I took that concept and I kind of, but it's funny you mentioned Donkey Kong. So I kind of took that concept and Donkey Kong and kind of merged them together, where you would climb up the stage to the top to defeat like a teacher. So a professor. So in I had three levels. One level is one teacher, another level, and then the last level was the chair of the department chair. So, they were like super impressed, and I had help. I had this brother named Robert Parks. He helped me with the artwork and all of that, and
Yeah.
we spent countless hours working on that thing to make sure it was right. And I got a like perfect score because they were real impressed with it, that somebody would even decide to want to build a game as a senior seminar project. So that love always stayed with me. But I also ended up going into web development
Mm.
because there was also a class on web development with PHP,
Oh yeah.
that I thought was very similar to C++.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, if I don't go into game development, web development is the next best thing for me, because there's still the art, there's still the design, and I can still code the back end. So with that, another nugget, and I'm sure you know about this as well. When you graduate from college, having a bachelor's degree,
No one will hire you.
that does not automatically mean a
No,
job.
no one will hire you.
No, no, no.
Oh my
Like,
god!
man.
I couldn't get a job to save my life after I got my bachelor's degree, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
what is going on? So
Hmm.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's funny, you know, they had all these entry level positions, and then they'll be like, "Well, you need at least 1 year of experience." I'm like,
It's like you're chasing your tail around. You because they would say like, "Yo, you need to have." Now it's gotten even worse. It'd be like, "Oh, you have to have like 3-4 years experience for entry level."
mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, look, I don't have the experience to get an entry level. Well, you need to get an entry level job to get experience. Well, I'm just like, well, how am I gonna get experience without you giving me an entry level job? Or I gotta have 10
Man.
years experience. Like that's yes. So
Try to tell you, man.
this is
Oh,
why like I wanted to interview you so much because I I want to let people know that like it feels like you're the only one going through this. When
yeah.
you're going through computer science, of course, in computer science, the actual degree track, there's not that many black folks, so a lot of times you're gonna be working by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And That's just the way it is. And then once you graduate, you're gonna have to go through the process of finding a job, and people are not gonna want to hire you because you don't have experience and you don't have that. See, a lot of times black folks we don't have those connections that other
Yes.
people have,
Mm.
and
Mm.
they're able to, whether it's their cousin or whoever, they're able to go into these businesses because they have that network already. Whereas I know in my bachelor's degree, we started out with maybe like 30 people in my class. By the time I graduated, it was down to like 8 or 9 or something like that. And one one other person beside it was a black female. No, two black
Mm.
females and myself. We were only computer science graduates at all my entire school. So, and I didn't go to a HBCU. So, yeah.
Well, I went to. Sorry, give me 1 second. I
No,
went to an HBCU.
yeah,
I was the only one in my graduating class.
that's
I
crazy.
was the only one.
That is insane. That is, oh my god. I mean,
Now they had a good crop after then. They
yeah.
were trying to keep me to stay. But I was like, nah, man, I gotta go, man. You know, I've been here.
No.
Um, yeah, I was the only one though.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
So how did you really kind of like find I know you said that you couldn't find a job. That's why I started my business as well.
mhm.
Um but how did you really kind of navigate that entrepreneurship lane and then start up Digital Brilliance like it is now? Cuz I see you now, you got a lot of stuff going for you. So how did you kind of get into that path? Or a better question is um, what made you just say "fuck it" and then just go?
Okay. So remember I said, you know, no jobs will hire me. Now I did get I forgot who I talked to who basically gave me the game on the whole college getting a job thing. You know, they were like, man, you know, usually what you're supposed to do is have internships while you're in college or before college. That's where you're gonna get your experience. Then when you graduate, you can already have the experience, and then that's how you're gonna get hired. Thankfully, I actually did have a paid internship like my last year, my last semester there. So I had one with GlaxoSmithKline for I want to say 3 months, 3 6 months, something like that. So I at least had that, but I mean, I've always kind of been a hustler at the same time. So I all the skills that I learned, like I worked it out with the apartment complex that I lived at. That I would build and support their website, you know, because that was back in 2001, 2003, so nobody had websites like that yet.
Hell yeah.
So I said that I would build it for them and support it for them, and I got half off my rent,
That's
you know,
what's up.
while I was there, you know, and I was there for at least 2 more years. So I was having that experience. I started doing freelance work.
Mhm.
Um, just going out. I forgot those sites. I don't even know if they're still out there now, but I used to really rock with Joomla,
Mm,
and I would do a lot of freelance work. So I would get all my experience from that. Then at that point, I finally had got a job with Duke University as a web developer.
nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm always gonna eat, so
Yes.
I got with them, and then maybe like a year, maybe like 6 months later or so, I got a full-time position with a small business called, well, at the time anyway, called Net Friends, and I was there for a good 4 years. But in the midst of that, I was doing web development stuff, but I still had a love for game development.
Yeah.
So I had opened up my own game development company
Yep.
called United Minds. And so that was where and I got up with like two, three other people who were artists, and I did the coding where we would build 2D games.
Oh, that's
Excuse
where
me.
I'm at
Yeah.
right now. That's exactly where I'm at right now. I have
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm at that. We gonna talk about that too because
Okay.
I'm gonna need a sound engineer because I'm developing a RTS right now.
Mm.
I also hired a character designer, and so again, that's another reason I wanted to talk to you too. We gonna talk about that a little later, off the off camera or
Okay.
but yeah, definitely, yeah. Go ahead,
All
yeah.
right, all right. Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. So I did that company for, I want to say, 4 years. Life started to hit, so I had to kind of let that go for a while. Plus, I learned a lot. I fell a lot, and I learned a lot from all the falling that I did.
Oh, yeah.
So um, this time around, so after that, I started to get into mentoring because started. I'm at Cisco now. I'm a software engineer at Cisco, team lead.
Nice.
Um, and I went to Cisco at around 2010. And again, just like you said, it's been just me.
Yep. Every
It's
time.
it's just been me navigating, and that is tiring. So one of the main things that I kept thinking about, I was like, man, there's not a lot of us here. I need to at least see if we can get the next generation to have more of us in it, you know. And my wife, she had mentioned about me mentoring because I had a lot of mentors growing up for myself. So I mentored at Boys and Girls Club. I'm actually on the board there now, but mentor at the Boys and Girls Club, Durham Parks and Rec here. I still have a relationship with all of them. And while I was mentoring for like 5, 6, 7 years, I built a game development program and a music program. And so they were, I was seeing how the kids were responding to it. And I would do them each, one semester I'd do game development, second semester I'd do the music. And so in 2017, I decided to branch them both together. That's where Digital Brilliance Hour came from. So that was birthed in the fall of 2017 with both Boys and Girls Club and Durham Parks and Rec, and I was providing it for both centers. And ever since, we just been growing and learning from the experience, and here we are today.
That's
But it all stemmed from, I just want to do what I can to make sure that we are better prepared for this STEM career. Number two, I want to get rid of this notion that this is the white man's world. You know what I'm saying? This notion that only
go
whites and
ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Asians
sorry.
and
Go ahead.
Indians. No, you good? No problem. I figured something going on.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Only
My camera battery ran out because I didn't charge it last night. I'm gonna get another battery, but go ahead.
okay. So I I didn't want people to always assume that, game development, software engineering was just a white, Asian, and Indian world. You
Perfect.
know, we keep preaching equity, but we need to show equity. So that's another conversation. But so I took it upon myself. Like I'm one of those. I don't like to complain. I'd rather just be the solution
Yep.
to my complaint.
Yep.
So that's where Digital Brilliance Hour came from, and just showing the kids, showing the students that, man, this is not that hard. It seems hard. You see these games come out and it just looks so complex. And some stuff is complex, but
It is, but
the foundation behind it is not.
tough. Yes, if coding is coding, no matter what you're actually doing. Um,
Hmm.
God, that's such a crucial point right there. Can you see me?
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I can see.
because I just finished my latest Get on Code video, and it's the beginnings of I don't know if you heard of Quiz Kit. It's IBM's quantum computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started just my first in the series of quantum computing coding, and it's all in like Python, little like Jupyter notebook, and it's kind of you know it seems like it's really advanced, and to an extent it is, but really it's just still the basics of coding. Just you're using a quantum computer, IBM
Yeah.
remote quantum computer. So yeah, now go ahead. Please, please, please.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. No, it's funny you mentioned the quantum computer part because people hear that and they be like, "Oh man, this is too much for me."
Nah.
Like, nah, man. Like, it's I equate coding to reading a book.
Yeah.
Programming language and speaking languages are very similar.
Yep.
You have rules for a language. They all kind of share kind of very similar rules, but there might be rules specific to that language
Yep.
that you just have to understand. But if you understand the default rules of every language, because they all are going to be built on those rules.
Yep.
So you only have to think about that stuff. You're just adding in the extra information to understand the actual language you're working in or trying to learn more efficiently.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. But
Yeah.
if you have the foundation,
Yeah.
you learn any language.
You can learn any language. And that was when I first got to my bachelor's degree. That was my problem because
Mm.
again I think they started us on Visual Basic. Then
Oh man,
we did like
right.
Java for like 2 years, year or two, and then we got into web development and all that stuff. But getting over that first hump, my biggest thing that I would want to express is you should code in something you're interested in. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't, because in college they really don't teach you how to code. You kind of have to learn by yourself if you don't know already. They'll give you an
Hmm.
assignment and say complete the assignment using this language, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be like what? And you'll see them other kids just like, and you might get intimidated. But really, that's how I really learned how to code, because up until that point, I was just doing it. They give me this assignment and these crazy abstract ideas. You just kind of got to put it all together. But once I
Hmm.
started coding for stuff that I enjoy doing, it was like, okay, it's all the same stuff. Like so yeah,
Hmm.
that is something I think that's very important. Um, is getting these kids to kind of understand that if you can code for one thing, you can code for everything. Um, find out what you really like to do, and code towards that. And I mean,
Hmm.
network.
Yes,
Network.
yes. Man, those are brilliant, man. Yeah, because I completely agree. And you said Visual Basic. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we use that too. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
um,
that was just dragging and dropping, and like that was
yeah. Yeah. And what's funny, you know, so you remember you said, you know, how the other kids were just going along, but in my line of work, those kids who are just going along, they are just understanding maybe the logic behind the question.
Yeah.
But then when they're in the real world where they have to apply the fundamentals to a different situation, that doesn't register. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm trying to get people to understand, like, you know, you can search these problems out. I know it seems like I always have all the answers, Google. But I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing.
Yeah, learning.
Like I'm doing the exact same thing. Like I don't feel I know everything. Like you said, Google, you know, Google documentations, Stack Overflow.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
I was find hours on Stack Overflow,
man.
Yeah.
So you know, you also got to learn how to search solutions out and problem solve. Yeah.
That's gonna be clutch. I mean, we're getting close to the end here. Kevin, oh my God, we really do need to do this again. We
do, man.
Do this again, because I'm telling you, my nerd juice is like bubbling right now, just like you know. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let you get the last word, and we're gonna go ahead and close it out.
Okay. So if you want to find out more about my program, we're actually starting a new workshop in October. So we're going to be starting registration for that soon. We support youth from 12 to 19. Like I said, we build fundamentals. We once they like finish the whole, because we start on a level approach, beginners, intermediate, advanced, and expert, where they're actually leading their own team. So it's really like a boot camp and an internship where number one, we focus on building the fundamentals, and then they get to put those fundamentals in practice where they get their experience and their skills. And it can be transferable, put on your resume to, if you wanted to use it for school credit, you can do that as well. So that is the framework of our program. We do both music production and game development, but I kind of want to focus on game development. So if you want to learn more, you could go to digitalbrilliancehour.com. If you want to contact me, you could go to, you can email me at kevin.epps@digitalbrilliancehour.com, or you can just reach out to digitalbrilliancehour@gmail.com too. You know, social media. Oh, go ahead.
There you go. I was about to say, give me your social media.
Okay. Social media. I'm trying to get better at using that. But my social media is Instagram is Digital Brilliance Hour 1, the number 1. Facebook is Digital Brilliance Hour, and Twitter is Brilliance Hour.
Okay.
I was trying to get them all to link, but I couldn't. Yeah. So.
All right. That was great. I think people were really gonna appreciate this. Thanks everybody. This is the Elevator Engineer. I had Kevin Epps from Digital Brilliance Hour. It was definitely a pleasure. You will be seeing more of him. Follow him on social media, email, website, all that stuff. He's a brilliant guy. He's awesome. Okay.
Oh man.
But all right, Kevin, man.
Peace out, brother.